Welcome back to Parker's Post. I know it's been a while, everybody. You know, I've been on vacation. Military been on vacation. Uh, we just been doing a lot of things during the holidays, family coming in town, just everything. But once again, my main man, boy, hold on, hold on. Man, we know you military James. What?
Yeah.
Man, we know you're in Tampa, Florida, man. But don't it supposed to get down in the 20s tonight?
That what they say. I don't think it's gonna dip like that. It might hit 38.
Well, I tell you what. Because I hope you got some turtlenecks.
Nah, man. I don't need all that. Don't need it at all.
Well, military, before we get the show to going, man, I wanted, because I know we've been gone for a while. And I just checked, because we had a bunch of emails. I just checked them a few minutes ago. And I want to tell everybody that been checking out the video on how many cigars have I really smoked in a day. It has been upgraded, but we're going to come with that maybe next month, or that me and military, we're going to hit a part 2.
Oh, yeah.
But again, before we get started, we late January. We ain't going nowhere. I'm finna tell y'all like Puff Daddy say, we ain't going nowhere. We here.
Not Puff Daddy.
So we got a bunch of shows we're gonna bring y'all within the next few months, and tonight we finna kick off NFL championship football. First, we're gonna talk about, man. I'm finna bring military in the right way one more time. Can I welcome my man, Military James, and I?
What's going on, Bobby? What's going on?
Man, before we get to this week, some of our fans need to go back and check maybe week 4, week 5. Military said Kansas City Chiefs was in trouble.
Yeah, I did.
He said they won't get close to the playoff.
At the rate they were going, they wasn't. But they turned it around. So hats off to the Chiefs.
Well, you know that I never say I had an NFL team, but I love me some players.
Yeah, and quite a few of them fishing right now.
Hey, man, we finna go back a couple weeks ago, man. We got to talk about it. Man, I know you talked about it, but I wanted to let the audience hear. Man, why you like to be on my man Prescott like that?
Well, it has nothing to do with his talent. He's very talented. He got a really good skill set. It's more about this whole added that they are America's team. That might have been so in the 70s, but we're in 2022, and they can't find themselves nowhere near NFC Championship. So the only thing you are is just a team.
Hold that answer. That second part of the answer. I think you may be wrong on that, because if it wasn't Jerry Jones, the NFL would be in trouble.
We don't know. Maybe because of Jerry Jones, we got some of the problems in the NFL right now.
Well, I'm finna go ahead and give you this. I love me some Jerry Jones too.
Nah.
But on the other note, man, we're gonna get off them Dallas Cowboys, man, because Dallas Cowboy fan, when y'all see me in Dallas, man, y'all just give me a little a fist bump. Now you see military now, you may have to do something else, you know, because I love me some Dak Prescott. I don't know about him, but I love me some Dak Prescott. But I'm gonna ask you something, military.
What you got?
Before I give you this question, and I tell everybody this here. I'm not a Tampa Bay Buccaneer, but I support my home team.
True.
Okay. Man, what the hell happened to your damn Buccaneers last week, man? The score does not reflect the game.
No, it doesn't. And the one we had this conversation, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, maybe. The Achilles heel is a secondary. The Achilles heel is a secondary. If your offensive line give you enough time between the front seven, you can win. Now the difference is that Brady is the king of the comebacks, but you can definitely get that ball where it needs to get to, because if you got time, the secondary is questionable. Now we have some good pieces there, but a lot of people been injured, just coming off of injuries. So no making no excuses. We just got outplayed. And I think we got out schemed. If I had to just kind of sum it up, we definitely got out schemed and outplayed. And I think that's been the Achilles heel. The Saints expose it every time. Every time we play the Rams, it's the same result. So between the Rams and the Saints, whatever they're seeing on film, how they're able to diagnose and break down the defensive coverages, they're being quite successful.
Okay. So you go straight for the secondary.
Mm-hmm.
You try to tell me going that last drive by the Los Angeles Rams.
Mm-hmm.
You trying to tell me that with the bad secondary that we've been talking about all football season, you say 3 weeks, all football season.
Yeah, basically all football season. You're right.
You trying to tell me that defensive coordinator didn't put those guys in a tough situation?
Quite a few times he put them in bad situations. And I think that's more. That's more of them trying to adjust for what they consider tendencies. And just because you're trying to adjust for a tendency, that doesn't mean that team is going to actually do that. And like you said, the coach's job is to put the players in the best position to be successful. And a couple of calls, especially on that last drive, I just think that you don't blitz. You should keep everybody in front of you. Play cover 2, cover 4, something like that. I wouldn't go with a one high safety and then you blitzing off the edges. I just wouldn't do that.
Okay. So what I'm saying is this right here. That Cooper, that slot receiver.
Oh, yeah. Cooper Kupp.
But that's a bad boy.
Yeah. He the best one. He the best wide receiver this year.
I got into it with some guys watching a football game, and I don't like to be around guys that got a lot of bias. They don't like to tell it like it is.
Right.
And I tell everybody this season, Cooper Kupp is the best receiver in the game.
I agree.
This ain't got nothing to do with athleticism. Ain't got nothing to do with speed. Ain't got to do with hand. Ain't got to do them. It ain't got nothing to do with his color.
Mm-mm.
I had the dude telling me Odell Beckham is a better receiver. I'd say, well, I'm going to tell you this here. He wasn't a better receiver this season.
No.
Okay.
With Cooper Kupp, he's up there with one of the most precise route runners there is. You notice He seems to be always open. I mean, always open.
Right.
And when he's open, when he's covered, he's still open.
Right.
He reminds me of a poor man's Randy Moss. Not for the speed, but you notice Randy Moss even when he covered, he's still open.
Right. And you said something. I don't know how Cooper Kupp get wide open. You know, I'm gonna tell you this here. The Bucs got a slot receiver that was wide open too, but they wasn't looking at him.
Yep, Scotty Miller.
You know, I think that's something we need to talk about, you know, during the offseason, man. Because sometimes stars take away from the team.
I agree.
Other star receivers take away from the team.
Yep. And funny that you mentioned that. You know, we had that same problem, let's say 3 years ago, where the quarterback only saw the one receiver.
Right.
Regardless of whether or not he was covered, double covered, sometimes triple covered. He still threw the ball down.
Right.
So yeah, that's definitely that's gonna be part of the conversation that we have and when we start doing our business league kind of stuff for the off season.
Yeah.
So, you brought up that's gonna be an interesting point because we can look at a couple teams around the league. The reason why they not playing in the postseason is probably because of part of that right there. You have one rock star receiver, but you have a lot of compliment guys. The reason why the rock star is so good, oftentimes those compliment guys clear out a lot of that underneath coverage and some of that even over the top coverage when they running them short shallows. So
yeah. So now let me ask you this. You know, I know we was out. You know, we got a little smoke late yesterday evening. Man, you was on them Buffalo Bills fans hard, man.
Yes, I was. Yes,
You know, I had to tell you to get off their back a couple of times.
I can't do it.
And I want to ask you this here. Now, we just talked about the Bucs defense.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm just saying me. If I was the GM head coach, I would have fired the Buccaneers defensive coordinator in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have fired the Buffalo Bills defensive coordinator in the tunnel. Both of them.
Now, I wouldn't have fired them both. I wouldn't have fired them both. Now, so we talked about the Bucs, some of their miscues and some of the issues they have. So for me, what I see with the Bills issue is that they don't have cover linebackers.
Okay.
And I think that's where they got ate up at. Right in that short, shallow in that middle.
Now, you know they had the number one defense in the NFL. You know that, right?
Yeah. Based on what?
Numbers.
Stopping the pass.
Numbers.
Third down. Stop people on third down.
Numbers. Hey, numbers.
They don't translate on the field.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. We not gonna waste our time on them during Buffalo Bills, man, because we not in no darn Niagara Falls. Nowhere in that area. Man, we're a long way from Canada, man.
Oh yeah.
Man, I don't even know why they don't call them the Canada or the Canadian Bills.
They might as well. They might as well
call them the Canadian. Hey, so man, we're finna get on to this during the first game on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Cincinnati Bungles against my Kansas City Chiefs.
You know, this is probably the most interesting matchup.
I love me some Patrick Mahomes. Go ahead.
I think it's going to be the most interesting matchup because both of them have a true number one wide receiver. They're able to do things dynamic. They both use their tight ends. So it's going to be interesting. And both of them actually try to run the ball. Kansas City is kind of getting away from it a little bit. But Cincinnati definitely is running the ball more effectively. If I had to give you my guesstimation on it, I got Cincinnati by 3.
I tell you what, and I don't do this. I'm not a betting man, but we need to put a Padron 26 on this.
Or 26 on it. All right.
26.
It's done.
I
26
love
on
me
it.
some Patrick Mahomes. I don't need to say the team. I love me some Patrick Mahomes.
Hey, and look, I want my 26 hand delivered.
Hey, but I'm gonna tell you this, though. I think it's gonna be a great matchup. But I always say this here. The first year when Patrick Mahomes was making that leap, that the Patriots had put him down. You know, he tried to go up the ladder sooner than later.
Right.
The Patriots put him down. So what I'm saying is, Cincinnati can't go all the way to the top the first year.
It can be done. It can be done.
It can be done. But it ain't going to be done this year.
You know what? I have so one, it's going to be an excellent game. It's probably going to be the better of the two games just because the level of explosiveness on both sides. Now, I'm not taking nothing away from that 49ers game because we're going to cover that in a minute. But I just think from a quarterback perspective, this is a better duel from the quarterback perspective. And granted, Mahomes is fantastic. He really is. He's once in a generation kind of talent. But Joe Money over on the other side, bruh, he is playing lights out. He's playing lights out, and he got a hot hand. He got a hot hand.
Hold on. Oh, I'm gonna tell you this here. I'm not taking nothing away from them Bungles. Nothing. They got a nice 1-2 punch. Kansas City got a 1, 2, and 3 punch.
Well, this is true. But if you clearly look, 5 games this year, they didn't have a punch.
You know why? Everybody tried to take the Buccaneers where they punched them in the mouth last year in the Super Bowl. It took the Chiefs the Super Bowl to get the head beat in. All the preseason they got the head beat in, and then we're gonna say the first quarter of the season they got the head beat in until they figure out how can we beat this defense. But now they don't figure that.
Yeah. And you know, remember we said this week 1. We talked about we think that there will be a few games where COVID and that COVID list will have significant impact. And you know, we didn't start seeing it until like week 4. And then we start seeing some of the big names not being able to participate. And it was just amazing where you got an opportunity to see some of these backups, some of these practice players now getting an opportunity, and then they actually shine. So now you put the team in a crisis mode because now that 53-man roster is still 53.
Okay, we want to hold off on that COVID stuff for a minute, you know, because I want to come back to that in a minute. But I want to ask you this here, so we got us a 26 on this game. You know, I'm going with Patrick Mahomes. Love me some Patrick Mahomes. Let's move on to the late game. Oh, but let me tell the world, if you somehow you got radio, but you ain't got no TV, the early game is at 3 p.m. Now you can listen to it on satellite radio if you want to, but I know you can catch it on your AM station somewhere too. But the late game is at 6:30. Now, to me, everybody think the Rams gonna run right up over.
Nope.
But I'm gonna tell you this here: the 49ers front four is just as good as the Rams.
You absolutely
just
right.
As good as the Rams.
Joey Bosa is a monster.
Hey, you know, I know them guys with the Rams, those are speed rushers. But that dude over there, that's a grown man.
Yeah, that's power, all power.
Hey, so
and they ain't got nobody for my man, Debo. Who they got for Debo?
Well, I'll tell you this here. Ramsey was so bored last week, he let slow Mike Evans get behind him. Slow Mike Evans. Hey, man, how Ramsey let Evans get behind him like that, man?
I mean, he got deceptive speed. He's not like a burner. Because he a long strider.
Hey, I'm going to tell you this. Anybody like a burner when you go to sleep? But I'm going to tell you. Everybody think the Rams going to run away with this game.
Yeah. They're going to be in the football game. They are going to be in the football game.
I'm going to say this here. If the 49ers get up at least 10 points, the Rams in trouble. Because that power football they going to do, they're going to run a lot of time off that clock.
Yeah, they're going to inside trap. Man.
You know, you talked about Debo.
Mm-hmm.
Debo may be. Debo probably the most powerful receiver I ever seen.
I would disagree only because I think that he is in the same mode as Anquan Bolden. And Anquan was just phenomenal. And imagine if even when he was with the Cardinals or with the Ravens, they would have utilized him in the same situational football as they did with Debo.
Okay.
That we really wouldn't have known just how good Anquan could have actually been. And he, trust me, he is phenomenal. He was absolutely phenomenal. So I think that I put him in that mode.
Well,
I put him in that mode.
That we can go back and all bowling highlight film. He never ran away from nobody. Never ran away from nobody.
But then not one person tackled him solo. I don't think he had too many solo tackles either.
But you know what though?
Now Debo are younger, faster, and just solid.
You can put a line back on bowling. But you can't put one on Debo. Hey.
Nah.
Hey, man,
Debo is way faster. Way
do
faster.
Do you think that Cube, do you think he did something with that name Debo? Think he copyrighted that name?
Nah, he didn't. He didn't.
He should have. He should have.
Man,
that man eating off that name now, Debo.
Yeah, but I mean, he is he's unbelievable. He really is. Now the question is going to be, because see, if you focus on Debo, you're going to leave one of the more dangerous tight ends in the league. You're going to carry Kittles open. That will be foolish. So you just can't stop one, and then you know the 49ers is going to run the ball. You know that. Yeah. They're probably going to run the ball 20, 25 times that game.
Well, I'll tell you what. I think you're absolutely correct, because I think it's going to be a hell of a game. You know, I ain't betting nobody on this one, man, but I'm going to take the 49ers.
Yeah, I got the 49ers too. Now, here's the thing. If the Rams can get the Jimmy G early, there might be a problem there.
See, but
if they can get him early, it might be an issue.
But you know what the difference is? The 49ers got a better offensive line than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Agreed.
So I don't think they're going to be that type of an issue when it comes to that line.
It's going to be interesting. Interesting.
Well, you know, instead of the quarterback having 2 seconds, he probably have 3.
Possible. But now the problem is Jimmy G got a problem with those inherent throws. So now when he on, he's like fire. But when he is off, man, he stank up the joint.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. That we're gonna move on from them during 49ers Rams, man. Because the thing about it, man, we ain't neither one of those fans, man, but we got to take one.
You got to take one.
I want to ask you this here. Man, you mentioned something, you talked about some of the better players. There was gonna be some type of COVID where there's some players gonna be missing. There was only one guy that stuck out in my mind that was missing.
Who's that?
That when it comes to the fake vaccination card, Antonio Brown.
You think so?
I'm just saying, since he's a local guy.
Right.
Now, we don't know what was true. Allegations. We saying, everything we say, there's no proof in it. They say, he say. But I want to say this here, though. I'm fond of the guys making as much money as they need to make. I want to see them succeed. But I want to ask you this here. Any other job, if you would have showed a fake COVID vaccination card, isn't that maybe somewhere like a federal offense now?
That is a felony.
So I want to ask you, I really want to ask you, if you was the head coach, what you would have done?
Well, first I would have let the league do what they're gonna do first. And then he would have had. I probably would have suspended him for the rest of the regular season. Conduct detrimental to the team.
That's it?
Yeah. He was already on the one-year contract. Suspended for the rest of the year. I wouldn't have cut him. I would have made him practice. I mean, do all of that stuff.
Okay.
I may have even demoted him to the practice squad.
Okay.
But because if you make it to the playoffs and you have an injury, you can have him sub in. It doesn't matter. But I would have suspended him for the rest of the regular season. Now, here's the caveat to that. Say you got a nice young wide receiver on your practice squad, and during the suspension, he has filled the shoes somewhat because he's never going to replace the production of Antonio Brown, but he has produced. Now that adds another wrinkle to it. Right. You should have cut him and bump, and add another person to your practice squad and move the guy from the practice squad onto the active starting roster or what? So there's a lot of caveats there, but for me, because he should be a leader. So he's the oldest wide receiver in the room. Very well decorated, Pro Bowler. So at that point, you expect that level of leadership from him. And he did not display that at all. Regardless of what the media said, because remember, we had the whole issue with the moving company and then all this other stuff we had going on. As a leader on that football team, you are called upon to set a standard. Now, what he does on the field, he is graded by, and that's what the Hall of Fame and Pro Bowl and all that stuff is going to grade him by. But your contract grades you off the field.
Right.
So the conduct off the field has a significant impact on his contract. Therefore, that was why my whole thought process was I was suspended for the rest of the year. Now, like I say, if we get somebody off the practice squad or we go out and get somebody else, I'll cut him. Just like that. because there's no value in that, because he comes back and what happens now? Y'all look like y'all are ineffective leaders. Y'all cannot discipline y'all team. Y'all cannot keep a cohesive unit going. And what happens is now, if he does something after that, they're gonna say, "Why didn't you do something the first 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times? Now you want to do something now." And now you're sending a message to the rest of the players on the team that if you have a name, you can pretty much get away with murder.
Well, let me tell you this. Me personally, I think the Bucks wouldn't have brought him back if Godwin wouldn't have got hurt. If Godwin would have stayed healthy, I don't think the Buccaneers would have seen Antonio Brown in a Buccaneer uniform again.
I agree.
But I'm not going to talk too much on that darn Antonio Brown, man. But I want to ask you this here. Do you think if he would have played in last week's playoff game, that he would have made a difference with the Buccaneers maybe winning that ball game?
Yes, for one reason and one reason only. I think because of his name and his skill set, Jalen Ramsey would have took him and put the number 2 cornerback on Mike Evans.
Okay.
Or vice versa. That means you got a Pro Bowler going up against somebody maybe in their 3rd year.
Okay.
So that would have been a mismatch.
Okay. Well, that's all I wanted to ask on that. Me personally, I think that pass rush still would have did his damage early in the game.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I think they would have ran a bunch of screens to Antonio Brown, but that we would never know the outcome. But let's move on to this next question, man. What you think about Big Ben finally shut it down in Pittsburgh?
About 3 years too late. He should have been done it. And this has always been my issue when players stay past their expiration date. So let's just say Big Ben was in Tampa. And this is 2022. So in 2019, in the 2017 and 2018 campaigns, we didn't make the playoffs. Or we made it in the wild card and got bumped. Come 2019, he's getting long in the tooth. We really don't have a solid backup behind us, but now we cash strapped because of his contract. He's still sticking around. And we are still getting the same results year in and year out. At one point, if you love this team so much and you see that your skills are diminishing and you see you're not the same player, have a little dignity. You made more money than all us average Joes walking around here. And this would be a great transition to figure out what it is to be a quarterback's coach. How about you look at transition, maybe not in the media, but transition in the coaching? You want to stay with the game. You want to stay connected. That's a great avenue. Take that transitional, make that move, free up that cap room so they can go out and compete, get somebody to come and compete, and then you can sit with the quarterback's coach and learn.
Right. I don't have anything to say about Big Ben. I think he had a hell of wild card game, because there's not too many guys able to shut it down in the playoffs, because he didn't play that bad, but you can tell that Father Time had kicked in.
Oh yeah. He looked at lethargic out there. I mean, he had no, he was never been elusive. Now let's not He's never been elusive. Right. But he had a little shimmy with him. You grab him, he'll shake you off like it wasn't nothing. This time he didn't have that. He didn't have it.
Well, you're right. Because I just want to give big man. See you, buddy.
Hey, Ben, Dak's out there fishing. He'll pick you up.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, so let me ask you this question, man. This is but I want you to think about this question before I ask you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want you to blurt it out, but I want you to think about it for a minute. Who will be the first black head coach chosen this offseason? Hey, hold on a minute. I'm drinking me a little bit of Four Roses today, a little bourbon, man.
Oh, man. I think Flores. And I think he's going to go to the Texans. I think he's going to go to the Texans.
Well, you know how the deacon, preacher, bishop on Sunday say, y'all bow y'all head. Give yourself a second for a minute. Byron Leftwich ain't going to get no job before him.
I think Byron Leftwich is really...
Don't say
honestly,
that.
I really think he wants... I think he wants a Bucs job. I think he wants to be the Bucs head coach. Now, here's a problem. Here's a problem with teams like the Jaguars, Detroit, Chicago, Carolina. You continuously keep firing the coaches, but you're not getting rid of the general managers because general managers selecting his personnel. And so you're bringing in subpar people. You're bringing in people that are not a true scheme fit. And sometimes some of the GMs don't even take the input from the head coaches. So I think that's where a lot of the issues is when you have a cantankerous GM that's been there forever, and they just keep having this revolving door quarterbacks, revolving door head coaches, revolving door of assistant coaches, defensive coordinators, just a continuous cycle of you fire one of the position coaches mid-season, and that doesn't add the continuity to the team. So that's why I think a lot of those teams like Jacksonville. Now, Jacksonville is a whole nother thing. They're kind of trying to figure things out. And they got rid of everybody that they had that was noteworthy. And everybody they got rid of has all won Super Bowls, which is crazy. So I don't know. I just think that Brian might take the Jaguars because I think there are some pieces on the Jaguars, but not enough for them to compete. There are some pieces there. I just don't. The quarterback, I don't like the quarterback. I don't like Trevor Lawrence.
Pieces, man. I don't care about the pieces. But I think you may be right. I think it's up in the air. I'm still waiting. I don't think a coach is gonna be named until after the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. The Bills. Was it the Bills? Yeah, the Bills picked up the head coach.
Who?
The Bills.
What Bills?
Well, the Giants. Excuse me. They got the Giants picked up Brian Durham coach. It's Joe Jim.
Oh, well, what? Well, I'm not gonna tell y'all what my grandmother would have told me to tell y'all after that pickup. So we're just gonna leave that one alone, man. We're gonna move on further down the line. But y'all know what my grandmother would have said. I can't say it because I ain't got time to be bleeping nothing out, man. So now we finna change the subject for a minute, and this is gonna be our last topic of the night. And this is one of my best baseball players of all time. One of my fan favorites. I was right there rooting on this dude, man. And I also, I remember back in the days I was doing a little bit of powerlifting and I messed up my darn shoulder. And, I reached out to them guys down there in Sarasota. And I got me a little cream on my damn shoulder too. But that shit worked for real. Back on. Hey, allegedly, I ain't saying nothing. I ain't calling no prop.
Oh my goodness.
But hey, I'm gonna tell you something. I don't know how I came across that email address down there in Sarasota. Man, I ordered me 3 tubes. I'm gonna tell you that show they ain't heard again.
You lucky you ain't had to take no drug test.
Hey, man, but I'm finna ask you, man. My favorite baseball player. Why in the hell he can't get in the Hall of Fame? Barry Bonds.
The same way Mark McGwire never gonna get in. Sammy Sosa not gonna get in.
I'm talking about Barry Bonds.
One, he was a cantankerous dude, man. He was a hell of a baseball player.
Whoa. Oh. They never called him with anything. He never tested for anything. All they looking at is motherfucking head. Hey, man, I'm gonna tell you something. If
he was that dude.
Picture of me back when I was 25, man, my head was a little too.
Look, they showed a picture of Barry Bonds at 25, and they showed him a picture at 37. Right. At 25, he like he was in high school.
Okay.
At 37, like he was a retired bodybuilder.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
Retired.
Hold on. But you know this here. If I go pull one of your military pictures up back when you were 19, your head is not the same size it is now.
No, it is not.
Hey, man, people need to go on with that, man. Get that man the benefit of that. Hey,
but you know what they're looking at? They're not looking at the head. They're looking at that neck. That neck was thick.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, this man had what he had 2 MVPs before they even started talking about steroid era. He had 2 or maybe 3.
I know he probably had 3. He was that dude, man.
Well, I think he's going to get in later in life, because I think the rules going to change at some point, because them old folks, they going to die off. No. Them old voters, man, they got about 10 years left.
It's not necessarily it's these beat writers. That's where the problem comes in. But the problem that comes in is that
behind beat writers.
They keep, even when the conversation dies down, they stir it back up. And they keep adding a different spin, a different take on it. And I think some of that's jealousy because they never played. Other parts is that they have this issue with he makes all this money and that's what he does, as though they're the moral police to police these players. So I just think I wish he would get in 2024. That's my hope and goal. In 2024, he gets in.
What year is this, man?
2022.
Man, I may not be living in 2024, man.
All right, I'll put a clipping at your gravestone so you can absorb it.
Hey, Man, you better watch that, man. Settle down, man. This got there in January 28th. January 28th.
I'm just saying, I just think that with everything that's going on, so we know he's not going this year. And they're probably going to hold. They're probably not going to get him next year. So that's why I say 2024. Because this year, people are talking about it. You're getting a lot of this pushback, this uproar. Like, hey, look at the man's numbers. He should be in it. Explain to me why.
Okay.
So the decision already made. So next year he should be in the conversation, and then maybe 2024 he's selected.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, military man. Hey, I'm finna tell you, man. Glad to have the show back to going again.
Oh yeah.
But I'm finna tell you, we ain't said it in a while.
Before you say it, I got one thing for you.
What's that?
In January 2022.
Oh,
let me run one thing by. So we'll start something new every month.
Okay.
What's the best cigar you done had in January?
No, that's easy.
What's that?
That is easy. Hold on a minute. I got to go through my records real quick because I don't want to mess it up, man. Because I don't want nobody to be because I may have some sponsors soon. I don't want nobody to say he said my cigar wrong. It's the Monte Cristo.
Mm-hmm.
The signature by Monte Cristo.
Okay.
That's the best cigar I done had
this year
in 2022.
Okay. Let me see here.
Whoa. I want to tell everybody this right here. If you know me, I love me some pepper. I love Maduro. I love full bodies. I love it. For breakfast, lunch, and what, military?
And dinner.
Hey, man, I know military gave me some cigar for my birthday yesterday, as it was the 17th. So nobody, don't be talking about your birthday. My birthday was gone way over a while back. So military want to pull out something that has some pepper. I'm a pepper guy.
Mm-hmm.
But not that type of pepper, man. I'm gonna say that cigar like it has some cayenne pepper on the lip. What you got for me, military?
The best stick I've had this year, not counting the little pepper stick. This right here, LFD, Airbender. That's the best stick I had this year.
Well,
55.
I love the LFD.
70.
I love the LFD. Like I smoke one. Well, I smoke two LFD, but there's only one you can find anywhere.
Oh, that bull.
No. I want the folks. Listen what I say now. Don't get it mistaken and say the wrong thing because you may get knocked out.
Oh.
It's called the Digger.
Digger. Digger.
Don't say it wrong. You might get knocked out.
Yeah, that's a good stick.
Yeah,
that's a good stick.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite LFD sticks. The Digger with the D. Y'all listen what I say. Digger.
My favorite is I like the Airbender and I like the football.
Well,
I like the football.
Like. We already know what you like, but we finna end this show, military. Man, I've been wanting to get to this all night. Man, I'm gonna let you say the second one. But I'm finna say it. Stay cool.
Stay dry.
And what we say?
Smoke what you like.
Yeah.